All right, today is October 20th, 2025, and this was my session. This is my first session back on a new account. Um, it's been a couple months of just experimenting and drilling and, trying to refamiliarize myself with with different type forms of content and developing a system. And I'm pretty confident that while my edge may be lacking for the time being, that I do have a good system in place. Now, obviously, in order to have a good system, you need edge. Um, but for now, I just want to focus on, um, where I'm at in terms of system and just staying consistent with my system. Let's reload this here because this says I'm up $10,000 on the day, which is definitely not the case. There we go. That makes more sense. So I'll keep this in ticks, but I'll keep the P&L curve in terms of currency. So you can see here I had 5 trades today with an 80% win rate, 4 wins, 1 loser. My average winning trade was 2.25 ticks, and my average loser was 1 tick, which I'm pretty proud of. And yeah, pretty consistent P&L curve. My last trade of the day was quite a big one, looks like, or these last two. If I turn markers on, there we go. Yeah, last 2 trades, 3 ticks each. Pretty solid. Let's jump into trades now. You're gonna see here that I have a whole bunch of sim trades. I had started the day drilling, and I mean, let's take a minute to look at the drills first. You can see I had a pretty rough start, which is good. I want to make a lot of mistakes when I'm drilling. That's the best way to learn. And then I hit a pretty good consistency here, utilizing this new entry technique that I think has a lot of potential. There were a couple instances where I had highlighted particularly good trades, especially this one and this one. It looks like I even went ahead and annotated one of these. So we'll go over that later, but for now, let's jump into the actual trades themselves. So trade number 1 is a 2 tick profit to the short side. I should also make sure that I have images of these. So this one was at 1021, and I've got a screenshot here from 1022, which I will put into the clipboard. Let's get rid of that one. We don't need that one. So yeah, some higher time frame context here. This was a short, so it looks like we're coming up and invalidating some of these old order blocks, which is not a factor at the time of taking this trade. Let's go ahead and watch the recording and listen to the annotation. This might actually be 1021, 1022. So it looks like it broke out after this. So this might have been a good cut. Let's listen. Can't necessarily be using those as support if we're so close to the SMA. Let's try the reversal trade. Take it for 3 ticks here, maybe 2. Got the 2 ticks on it. Okay, so it looks like I was just a little late with my wider screenshot. This does go on to break out, and it breaks out quite aggressively. So getting short here in hindsight was pretty risky, but it looks like the trade worked. What I'm looking for is a big solid green bar on the 3 second, which is a lot of bids hitting the market. And the average width of that candle is going to be above 1 ATR, which this one was. Um, this was kind of an area where I'm trading mean reversion because we are in a pretty clearly defined range. So taking the short at the top of this was just kind of a way for me to catch, some pretty quick momentum to the downside there. Let's go ahead and screenshot this, although I'm not crazy about the way I have this sized to my monitor. Yeah, maybe what I might do real quick, hold on, I'm gonna have to get sidetracked here for a second. This is just gonna have to be smaller. But at the same time, I just don't want it to. All right, that's gonna have to be good enough. So I might have to reformat my my OBS screens a little bit later. But for now, let's go ahead and screenshot this. ATR candle, ATR candle, ATR candle. Actually, maybe I'll delete this last one just because it's not the best case. Precedence. And I am shorting the quick pop of momentum down. There's also a pretty well-defined range here. Good slip range, good precedence. Any observation there's going to make about the orders here? Not really. There's not a whole lot going on here. So we have precedence that these ATR candles are getting taken back to the short side. We have a pretty good slip range, so a mean reversion is valid here. Moderate selling pressure, it could be better, honestly, but it's still present. Like it's not nothing. There's not no sell orders coming in, and we've also got a pretty good bid vacuum below us. Like there's pretty much no big buyers below, which tells me it is a pretty good pop of momentum. And if I play the video, I just want to make sure that never ended up hitting. Almost. It was 2 ticks away from hitting, and then it breaks out to the upside. So let's post that screenshot in there. Could probably get rid of this context screenshot because it's so late. Also delete that from there. And why not? I'll delete it from there too. Tags. So I think I only had technically small order blocks to fade into. I didn't have any big ones against me though, which is good. I had range favor. I had a bit of reclaim. Technically support resistance since I'm fading the top of range, but I won't necessarily tag it that way. And then I want to create a new tag for ATR candle. Yeah, we'll keep it blue, why not? Right. And then we'll tag this with ATR candle because I did have a pretty good ATR candle there. Eventually I want to add tags for moving average, but we'll get to that later. Against me, I did have a fat old reclaim up there, and I am technically against the trend, the wider trend. I think that's it. Entry was pretty good, and my exit was also good. I think the EV here was pretty slim, so I got to get out of trades fast when that happens. This was fairly conservative scalp. Setup quality, I'm going to call this like a B or a C. I'm not really crazy about it, honestly. And I think this was a risk-off environment. No mistakes. Did have slip favor. I was pretty clear about this because I had drilled for so long. I had good pulse checks. Oh, these are not supposed to be exclusive. One moment, please. Where's clarity? Market read. Exclusive, no, apply. Market read, clear, good pulse check, calm. Heart rate. I did not have my heart rate monitor yet. Let's play it and see if I connect it. So yeah, I do connect it and it's at 90, so that's pretty good. I am content and I am patient. I think I did wait quite a while for this one. And I'm going to green star it. This is a green star trade. Trade number 2 is a 1 tick profit to the long side. Let's go ahead and watch it and listen to the narration. ATR candle there to the green side. I'm going to try the momentum pop. I'll take 1 tick on it just because it did already pop in my favor, and I don't want to get caught on the reclaim there. So I do a pretty good job explaining it. We're kind of compressing into highs, and then we put in a solid green ATR candle, which is usually a sign of strength, and you can kind of use those as support. And that's exactly what I did. I got a tick out of it, but it could have ran further. I probably could have gotten a point out of this. I'm just not very familiar with this source of edge yet, which I hope to be one day, you know. But for now, let's tag this as is. I do actually want to screenshot this because I think this is a pretty good example of strength. ATR candle above SMA. Ooh, we even have precedence of it too. Ooh, that's exciting. Ooh, I like that a lot. We have precedence. I love it when there's precedence. Precedence. Cool. Cool. That makes me really happy. Let's highlight some of the strength on the bids here. Ooh, actually, I should rewind this so that I have my executions. My bad. Let's try that again. Screenshot it there. Should I fast forward it? All right, 5850 is my entry. Let me just my favor, and I don't want to get caught on the a little sooner. So, print screen 5850 is my entry. Let's screenshot it. My entry, my exit. And I think an ideal exit would have been 5925. Ideal exit. So we had some really good strength on the bids. Really good strength on the bids with virtually no selling. These are old. These are all pretty old orders. This volatility is pretty low at this point. Uptrend. Plus one tick long. momentum. Okay. Tags. I clearly had ATR candle. I had order block. Or did I? I don't even think I had order blocks. No. No order blocks. Did I have any against me? No, I didn't have any against me either. Or, yeah, I guess I did technically have one against me because green's below. That makes sense. I had trend fever. And I had compression. It's kind of compressing up here, which I like. Against me, I just had the big order blocks, and that's about it. Entry good, exit early. Could have held this a little longer. Considering my entry, this is a pretty aggressive scalp. But I would give this like a B setup. I think this is pretty good. I really like the strength that came in there. A risk off environment. This is technically against my bias because we're risk off. Slip against. Good clarity. I'm gonna say maybe calm. This was kind of stressful to hold through. But I am content and I am patient. I will green star this one. Trade number 3 is a 1-tick loss to the long side. Let's back it up a little bit. This is pretty short after my last trade. Missed it. Okay. We've got one acting as support here, and we do have some pretty decent orders in support. I'm going to try the 60 long. I'll take it for a tick, maybe a tick loss. That was a good cut. Looks like it wanted to reclaim. So this could have worked. Yeah, this big time could have worked okay. So let me back up to the time of execution because I want to. I'm going to try the 60 long. It's really important I screenshot these since I am experimenting with a new source of edge. First thing I want to do is I want to highlight the strength. Versus the weakness. This is pretty weak selling. NASDAQ also has some pretty good strength here. We got one red bar followed by an immediate green bar. So it's almost like a boom, boom type of situation. We got the precedence. will be a yellow star. We had good ATR candle. I should actually be specifying. ATR candle might actually end up in the execution tab. Let me think about this. So there's ATR green above, ATR green below. But ATR green below is fadeable. I'll circle back to that. For now, let's just keep this tag as it is. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm going to have to change this now. This is going to bug me. So let's move ATR over to I'm going to have to create a new tag group. How many tag groups do I have right now?
I'm gonna try the 60 long.
Yeah, I think I have room for another one. Setup. And yeah, this is going to be an exclusive one. Setup, and I can move this up here. ATR candle is going to come over. Delete this tag. So ATR candle fade. ATR candle continuation. ATR fade, ATR continuation. Just creating some new tags here. Momentum. Do I have a tag for mean reversion? I'm pretty sure I do. Mean revert. I don't want this to be exclusive because they complement each other.
I'm gonna try the 60 long.
Let's go back to the trade that we were looking at. So this was an ETR candle continuation with momentum. The last one,
There to the greens.
this one was also ATR candle momentum. And then my first one would have been candle fade mean revert. Okay, let's continue tagging trade number 3.
I'm gonna try the 60.
we had order blocks against us, unfortunately. We had the trend favor. We had compression because it does look like we're compressing. We're not actually. We're getting pretty good movement. We're not really compressing. I think that's it. Stop run, range favor, trend favor. Did I have another screenshot? No, I think I did. I'm gonna add another strong tape. Strong tape. All right. So I want another tag here for strong tape, and we definitely had strong tape in our favor. Nothing against us. So those will be the two tags. Entry good, exit early. Could have held this one a little longer. This is a pretty aggressive scalp and a risk off, technically against my bias. ATR candle continuation momentum. Slip against clear. Calm, although my heart rate's a little elevated. Content and maybe patient. This was pretty quick after my last trade, so not perfect patience, but pretty close. All right, and then trade number 4 is a 3-tick profit to the long side. Let's listen to the narration. Heavy tail risk. There's a pretty decent ATR candle down with the MA test. I'm going to try the long 63. It's getting a little too slow for my liking. I'll take it there for the 3 ticks. Got it. Happy with that. Quick little scalp. All right, so let's screenshot this guy. Where are we at with time? 12:30, yeah, or 11:30. Take some pre-workout real quick. Review. 3 is pretty clear here, and so is my exit. I'll put my narration in first. 3-second plus 3 ticks. Long. So we do not have precedence of this. This is a ATR candle fade. We do have some pretty good invalidations here. Validation. Boom. Boom. Reclaim. Reclaim. Up. Strength. Strength. But we also have strength above because those were pretty big cells that came in. I do want to specify that. Color picker. Paste that in there. Upload. This is going to be a ATR candle fade with momentum. We had big order blocks and small order blocks above us, it looks like. We had strong tape in our favor and strong tape against us, so they kind of cancel out. We had a pretty nice reclaim. Multiple factors of support, trend favor. Entry good, exit good. Let's see if I could have held it longer just for the sake of reviewing. No, I couldn't have. Looks like that was the perfect entry. This was a pretty conservative scalp. I'm going to give this an A setup. I like this one a lot. No area of interest. Slip favor. I'll call that slip favor for sure. Clear. Calmness. How calm was I'll put yellow for calm. I was content and I was patient. Well, green star this one. Trade number 5 is a 3-tick profit to the short side, so it's just a couple minutes after this one. I'm going to rewind and we will listen to the narration. NQ also has the same gap in volume. I'm going to try the short, 6250. Bit of a slip against. I want to keep my risk a little tighter on this. And if we accept back above, I think let's see if we could take back just a little bit of that reclaim below. I'll take it for the 3-tick. Looks like it wants to give it to me, and I got it. Yeah, right. That is my session. So, double check my heart rate on that one. A little high. Pretty high, actually. I think shorting high of day has equal amount of risk mentally to me as shorting low of day. So I make some pretty good points there. Shorting high of day has never been easy for me. Let's see, can I get to before that big buy order was placed? I don't think so, because it looks like it was there before, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. We'll go there. Let's screenshot this. Low amount of bids here. So this was a mean reversion scalp. Price was compressing after making a new high, compressing to the downside after making a new high, making lower highs. Price was getting pretty lethargic, and we had a pretty good volume gap below us. There was a gap of very small orders, which, in my opinion, acts as kind of like a vacuum. I'm actually going to add a tag for that under setup. Is that under setup, or would that be under badges of support? Yeah, I'll put it under volume gap. Gap against. Ugh. So let's tag that as such. I had a volume gap in my favor. I had pretty strong tape in my favor at the time of entry. Strong tape. I had one big order block in my favor. I had compression in my favor. And I think that's it. I'll tag that multiple factors of support since there's 4, technically. Against me, I was against the trend, technically. This was a mean reversion. I did not have any ATR candles to fade. Entry good and exit good. I think I got out at the right time, although it did puke quite a bit after. I just think, for considering the location, I think this was a good exit. This was a pretty aggressive scalp, considering I'm shorting near high of day. This was a B setup. Risk off, technically against my bias. I had slip against. I was pretty clear here. My heart rate was horrible, but I was pretty calm. Yes, content, and yes, patient. This will be a green star. I like that trade a lot. Just a good little compression breakdown. So that's my session for today. Let's jump into daily report card. My goal, my long-term goal is to never attempt a single trade idea more than twice. And today I did not do that. So today's grade will be an A. I'll even go as far as to put it an A plus, just because I am really proud of the way I managed risk. I took a lot of drill trades beforehand. I had pretty clear edge. My win rate was high. There was a lot going right for me today. A lot of that had to do with environment, but still. Easiest trade would probably have to be good question. I think it was trade number 2. I went long off of the compression to the upside. I had good precedence working for me, which essentially just means that the chances of the setup working are higher. I only got 1 tick out of it, which is unfortunate, but it was such a low risk, easy trade. And I could have gotten more out of it, but not that I'm going to beat myself up over that. Things I did well. I drilled beforehand. I had a lot of screen time and practice trading before I actually placed the live trade. It's not always possible to do that because of time constraints. Today there was a system crash with Rhythmic, which meant that I couldn't trade my account, my new funded futures desk account. So I just took the time to drill, and I think doing that really helped. I also did some drilling over the weekend using the replay ability on Sierra Chart, which also helped. And I think that's it. I managed my risk well. My one loss was a very tight loss. Not that that's necessarily a good thing. Sometimes you need to let trades breathe, which probably brings me to things I need to improve on, which is just to let my edge work. Let my edge do its job. Don't get in the way of it. Don't cut trades too early, and don't cut losses too early either. Sometimes it's good to let a trade breathe a little bit. I think on that one tick loser, trade number 3, if I'm not mistaken, that would have been a winning trade had I held it a little longer. Yeah. Had I held for about 4 or 5 ticks drawdown, it would have went in my favor, like 8 ticks. So, let your winners breathe and also let your losers breathe. Sometimes it's okay to let that trades come back against you a little bit. And I think that's it. I'm really proud of the way I traded today. In summary, I just think it was a great session. Great reintroduction to trading an eval account. I'm looking forward to staying on the path of consistency and experimenting with this new source of edge that I have. So I will cut my recording there. This one's gone longer than I would have liked, considering there was only 5 trades, but that's what the grind is, I suppose. Catch you guys in the next one.